Hi there, thanks for watching. Timothy Weir here with Fearless Content Group, and I'm just recording a quick video here because there's been a lot of conversation, particularly on LinkedIn and among some of the content marketers in the community there, about the value of bottom-of-funnel content or content geared specifically toward people who are in an active buyer's journey and would be more interested in specifics about your product or your service and the use cases there versus top of funnel content, which is kind of what we mostly think about when we talk about content marketing. That's stuff that's educational, meant to build brand awareness and provide value to your audience without specifically asking for a purchase. And a lot of good things being said. I think bottom of funnel content is starting to have its day now. I think as there's so much content out there on the internet, people are growing fatigued with the plethora of educational content out there, because a lot of it is just content for content's sake and not necessarily providing value versus the stuff toward the bottom of the funnel. I think people are finding more and more interesting just because it's answering more specific questions that active buyers are asking. And of course, companies are loving bottom of funnel content too, just because it's a faster path to revenue. You have less of the sales cycle that you have to go through once you use that content and deploy that content. But I wanted to comment on three things that are not really being said in the conversation right now, and kind of add to that and just offer those and see what you think. Please leave a comment or a reply if you're watching this on Twitter, and to let me know what you think about this. But three things that currently aren't being said. The first is that we're talking a lot about bottom of funnel content being the fastest path to revenue, but we're not talking about the fact that top of funnel content delivered to people at the bottom of the funnel, when they are more interested in specifics about the product and more interested in those kinds of things, versus being educated on an issue, that could actually be detrimental. I think we all need to keep in mind that top of funnel content is meant for people at the top of the funnel, and bottom of funnel should be meant for people at the bottom of the funnel. In inbound marketing, there's kind of this unspoken rule that educational content is always good, and promotional content is good only in moderation or when it's specifically targeted. I think we need to rethink that first part. Educational content can be good for building an audience or bringing in new people, but if you send it to somebody who's interested in buying and not really interested in being educated, it could do more harm than good. The second thing I want to talk about is social media. It's interesting. I think generally people love to put their educational or inspirational content up on social media. And traditionally, if we've been thinking about, a sales funnel, a marketing to sales funnel, social media has fulfilled that magnet role of bringing people in. And then we've used email marketing and marketing automation and, once stuff is handed over to sales follow-up to do the nurture process. But as people are spending more and more time on social media, and anyone who has, any company like yours who has a mix of new audience members, engaged prospects, and current customers following you on social media, you've got to put content out there that speaks to everyone. Especially think about those engaged prospects and the current customers. People who already are interested in your products and your services, they really want that bottom of funnel content to help answer some of the questions they have about what you have to offer and what you can do for them as a business. And they're going to go to social media for that, especially if you're having trouble with landing pages and conversion rates and all of that stuff. Social media is a great place to get that information out to them. And I think more and more people, more and more customers are going to be not going through the traditional email nurture, which is what we often use, but I think they're going to do more of a self-nurture where they're using social media, going to your website, going to YouTube, and anywhere else they can find information to learn about your product. So think about doing a combination of content, top, middle, and bottom of funnel up there on your social media. The third thing that I want to add, and let me switch here, because holding up a camera like this can cause an arm to get sore. The third thing that I want to make sure that we're thinking about going forward is the importance of curated content, content from a third party in speaking to audience members at the top and the bottom of the funnel. It's interesting when you're a new company with a new brand and people aren't too terribly familiar with who you are and what you offer. Having a content from sources other than your own, especially if you're providing content from a reliable source in that industry, whether it's a particular publisher or a particular blog or something that you know your audience is going to resonate with and that is an authority to them and a trusted source to them, it's going to go a long way to helping build up your reputation with that audience. Plus, if you are using hashtags or any of those other tools on social media to organically draw new people in, or if you have people who are very active in sharing your content, new people who see you who may not know your brand may recognize, I shared a blog from HubSpot, for example, and they'll be more likely to give you a follow, in which case you'll get to share some more of your original content with them and drive them to your website. So those three things, making sure that you understand that top of funnel content can be detrimental if applied at the wrong time in the buyer's journey. Number two, making sure that you're using a variety of content on your social media, top, middle, and bottom of funnel. And third, never underestimate the power of third-party curated content on your social media, especially LinkedIn is really great for this, and Twitter for bringing in people who may not be familiar with your brand, whether they're unengaged or whether they're in an active buyer's journey. So hope those things are helpful to you. Be sure to leave a comment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you join our community here. And so thanks for watching, and go do your thing.